Hello, everybody. I'm here today to talk to you about the master-disciple relationship. I would like to tell you a little bit about my background first and how I came here to do this. I studied history of art and archaeology in France first, and then I moved to London to study theater design. I graduated in London and started working as a designer for 3 years. And I was on the track of being a designer and very happy with it. And a friend took me to a puppet museum to work with a puppeteer, and that's how I discovered puppetry the first time. I knew about it, but I was not particularly interested because I didn't know much about it. And when I first got my hand on a puppet, I fell in love with it. And it stayed with me, and I decided that actually I wanted to change direction slightly and really study this. So I started talking around and about the possibility of going abroad. And I was really interested in learning a form of puppetry that was not just a skill of making a beautiful show, beautiful dolls, but that had a culture behind it. And one of the last places in the world where there is still a very ancient tradition with puppetry is Asia. So talking about as many people as I could about leaving for Asia, I met one day a woman who knew of my master and his family and said that she could put me in touch with him. So she did, and within a week, everything was ready, and they were ready to have me come over and study with him. So it was that one opportunity that you have once in your life, and I took it, and I came to Taiwan. Why I wanted to learn this kind of puppetry, I was particularly attracted to the beauty of this kind of puppetry because it's very small, it's super refined, and it's a very multidisciplinary kind of performing art. So I would like first to show you a few photos so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, this is the kind of stage we perform on. So it's quite small, it's about 1 meter large. This is very important because usually you can see my face on this photo, but actually, usually you wouldn't see us, you only see the puppets. It's very magical. You can see how refined they are. The carving and the costumes are all hand embroidered. The stage, this is a religious art originally. It's telling the stories of all the Taoist gods. And the stage is very important because it's supposed to be a reproduction of a temple. It's all covered in gold leaf, hand-carved. We always play standing like this and behind the stage. And written in Chinese is the name of your company, of your troupe. This is the scale of the puppets. And I want to show you the next photo of the person I've learned this with. Okay, whatever. It's the next photo. I wanted to learn these because they're very beautiful, I think, very refined, and also because what was really appealing to me, and that's the main topic of my talk, was to study with a master. We all have an idea in our head of what a master is. It's kind of mythical, right? We all have a kind of great idea, and it was really appealing to me to study with a great man who knows his art, has studied his whole life, and being one-on-one, having a teacher only teaching me. So the thing that was most marking for me during these 5 years has been my allegiance ceremony. This is a thing that is really, really rarely done in Taiwan these days. It's a very ancient custom. And it's where master decides that you're going to officially become his disciple. It's like an adoption in a way. So it's like becoming officially his daughter or his disciple, which is pretty much the same. So I would like to tell you about this ceremony first. So we can move to the next photo. Okay, this is a ceremony that is an allegiance that is both to my master, but also to the god of theater. It's both a religious ceremony and an allegiance to my master. So first of all, this is Tiandu Yuan Shuai. He's the god of theater, the protector of children also. And we can't do a performance without first doing bye-bye to Tiandu. It's very important. Wherever my master goes, the god goes with him. And we pray for him first. The ceremony started like this. We burnt incense, bye-bye to the Tiandu god. And then we had a series of kneeling down 3 times and bowing 9 times. So every time you kneel down, you bow 3 times. That's the actual official name of this ceremony, is the 3 kneels and 9 kowtows. So we did this to the god and to master. So as you can see, I'm in the middle, and these are my brothers, puppeteers. There's another foreigner called Pippo Italian, and 3 Taiwanese colleagues and brothers. After the ceremony, after we've burnt the incense and bowed and kneeled down, we burn paper money for the god. And we finish with a very important part of the ceremony, which is eating and drinking together. So we had to offer really good food to master and drink to his good health. So yeah, it's something that's really rare, and I was really proud and privileged to have lived it. I'd like to talk now about what I've learned with him, the kind of teaching I've had. It's been a free training. I've never given him any penny of carving, puppet manipulation, sewing, painting, and the music. So it's a very multidisciplinary kind of art, and that's also why I found it so appealing. It's something that's very different from the West. In the West, if you do too many things, it's seen as, you're seen as somebody unstable, who can't choose, you can't possibly be good at all these things. Here it's completely different. It's the opposite. They actually see it as a quality, as a capacity to adapt and learn all these things. And because it's a lifelong commitment, you have your whole life to develop and become good at all these. That's why most of the time masters are really old. They've become so good because they spend their whole life doing it. Also, another very important part of his training was generosity and sharing. It's very important because we're a small community. And in the West, where you would have a lot of competitiveness, and it's more about the ego and you becoming good and you having the job rather than somebody else. Here it's been about working together, teaching each other what we know, and helping each other with whatever we knew best. For example, if somebody can carve something for me, I'm going to make a costume for him, and we're going to work together and help each other, even if we're not in the same company. So for me, that was also completely different from working in theater in London, for example. And to be honest, it's a very good feeling, you know? It's very different. I would like to finish with this, actually, how it's different from the West, and how, yeah, the learning is different and what you get out of it. So first of all, in the West, you would go to a school and you would have to pay for your classes, and at the end you have a degree, hopefully, if you've worked well enough and you did it in your own time, and if you have a degree or not, it's your problem, but nobody's going to really push you to work hard. Here it's different. It's a lifelong engagement. There's no degree at the end, really. You know, it's just about working your whole life and becoming better and better at it. I've never paid a penny, I said that earlier on. So how it happens is that I came here and Master tested me first. He wanted to see if I was really interested, if I was working hard, if I was any good. So he gave me about a year of testing my patience and asking me to do various things. And when he saw fit, he asked me if I wanted to be his disciple, and that's when we did this ceremony. And this is a very personal kind of learning. It's one-on-one. Master draws on your strength and tries to work on your weakness and tries to adapt to you. So it's a very tailored way of learning. It's not like sitting in a class with lots of other people and we all learn the same. He's going to teach you something that he might not teach another person because he sees that with you. It's going to be more interesting. And the money thing, yeah, he just tested me, and once he asked me to be his disciple, his daughter, that was it. He finished, like, he continued training me, and he still does, actually. And the way I repay him now, I've been studying with him long enough that I can now perform, and make costumes or carve heads and things like that. So whenever he asks, I have to, and I'm happy to also make a costume for him or perform with him, give an interview, teach some kids or something like that. And also, yeah, the other point that I made earlier on, which is for me very different from the West, is the generosity, sharing, and accepting master's aesthetics and passing it on. So pursuing this kind of desire to teach other people this beautiful art that's kind of disappearing today. Okay, and I would like to conclude on this little film that I regularly take when I go to master's home to study. I go to his place, so it's a very personal thing. It's quite intimate, and it's just to show you the spirit of learning with him. It's at home with his family, his friends. We drink tea, we talk, and like he shows me some movements, and I filmed that one. So I hope you enjoy it. This is my master, Chen XiHuang. He's the son of Li Tianlu.
Lucie, if you want good study, first fighting.
I know.
People with people, not happy.
I know.
people講咩？講咩嚟？大家冇嚟。
People.
你講下晡，我甲你講，伊講愛下晡等傷久吼。甲伊講歹勢，伊本來伊就為他
5點要來。
1點半，伊講還佫等到5點誒，愛中當上。係啊，伊講驚出辦公室無錢，互伊坐客運車轉去。
叫用走。我就無錢啊。
我驚請無。